Greetings everyone. This is Omkar Patnaik, founder, interim secretary general, and a presidential candidate of the Global Federal League. I would like to address a few of your queries I received in this video. I would also be releasing a document into the public domain addressing the questions that could not be addressed due to time constraints. So let us begin. Tell us something about yourself and your ambitions in life. So I'm a grade 11 humanities student and I wish to pursue my higher studies in law. My ultimate aim is to become a diplomat, which I plan to do via applying for the Indian Civil Service Examinations, the UPSC, and then becoming an Indian Foreign Service officer. I would also consider working in the United Nations, so let's see. Why you? What makes you worthy of this important responsibility? So this is a question I've quite often asked myself before taking any position, any responsibility. So in fact, I've begun my preface to the manifesto by answering this question. So let me exactly quote what I wrote over there. Voters, I don't claim that I'm a person who can deliver impeccable results all the time. Neither do I claim immense intellect and experience in the field of organizing and managing things. But there are two things I can claim with pride. Firstly, the support that I received from my fellow members in the organization. And second, my vision for the GFL. Just like every other member, my opinions and thoughts deserve equal representation, and that makes me and every other candidate like me competent enough and rather liable to contest and serve the organization. The presidency is not all about the expansion and achievement of targets. It's more about being a bridge between various constituent organs of the league and giving it an empathetic face. Every eligible member must contest the elections in order to uphold democracy in the organization. I hope that answers the question. How did you stumble upon the idea of GFL? Okay, so the idea of GFL, I did not stumble upon this overnight. And firstly, I made myself aware regarding the idea of world federalism and the ideals of the organization, democracy, federalism, and pacifism in their truest sense. So I discovered that what we are taught in textbooks, it's something much beyond that. And we often misinterpret these ideas. I would like to credit three sources for whatever inspiration I received for forming the GFL. Firstly, I would like to credit the Young World Federalists and their YouTube channel. It was through them that I got to know about world federalism as an idea and like as a practical idea. So how exactly it operates and how exactly is it intended to be achieved and how it's practical and what is the current situation. Then I would credit another organization called One World, which is based primarily in Israel and Palestine, and their website contained a comprehensive background of the movement, like the history of the movement, and then important exponents who supported the movement, like Gandhi and Nehru and Einstein. Many inspirational stories in this regard. I would also like to credit the history page of the Young World Federalists website. Thirdly, I would like to credit the book called Nationalism. Not exactly a book, it's a critical study of the concept of nationalism. It's more of an academic material. So it's authored by Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore, the first Asian to win the Nobel Prize, won it for literature. So in this book, he analyzes the idea of nationalism, basically nationalism in India and nationalism in Japan and nationalism in the Western world. And he conclusively proves that nationalism as an idea it's no longer relevant and human beings cannot really confine themselves to the narrow domestic walls of narrow domestic national boundaries. All these things they inspired me to establish the Global Federal League. Don't you think you have an unfair advantage over other candidates by the virtue of being a founder? Also, why do you insist on elections when the verdict is quite evident? Okay, so I did not know the verdict was quite evident. Uh, I won't say I have an unfair advantage or any sort of advantage because the other two candidates, they're also from the working committee and they have also worked in the organization. They know the people and like the voters, they also know them. So That's not really a big issue. Plus, we are also campaigning, we are discussing our ideas and our vision, manifestos, and everything are being exchanged. So, this organization has given an equal opportunity to all candidates to express themselves and appeal to the voters. And I believe the elections would be fought in regards to the vision and would be contested in this regard. Vision and how confident an individual is as a candidate and so on. Coming to the question why I'm so particular about elections, see, it's not something which I personally have to endorse. It's something which by default we have to endorse. Yes, I'm very vocal in this regard that we need to conduct the elections in a regular uh, manner, in the proper manner. We need to have campaign and everything. So that's basically what I'm vocal about. But elections as a whole, if you're a democratic organization, if you talk about democracy, then you have to adopt the ideals of democracy. And election is a part and parcel of democracy. So, like, there's no respite from that. Do you think the GFL should accept donations? As of now, no. We are a organization which is quite new and like we are in our infancy. So we should not really be accepting donations because we don't require them currently. Management of donations, it's another Herculean task, and I believe we are not ready for that. Also, at the end of the day, we are a non-profit organization. So our sole motive, as of now, is to reach out to most people and make them aware regarding our idea, regarding our work, what we are currently doing. The number of supporters we get, the number of volunteers we get, that's much more valuable than the number of dollars we get in our bank account. So that's what my personal opinion is. At least for now, we should remain $0. What is your opinion on your fellow candidates? Okay, so my fellow candidates are very competent individuals, and if given a chance, they would also serve the organization to the best of their capacity. And I personally know them, and I thank them for all their like cooperation and kind advice they've given me throughout the election period, and even as a colleague in the working committee. So yes, and on that note, I send my best wishes to them. Best of luck. That's all from my side. On what grounds have you prepared the proposed list of office bearers? And illustrate this with an example. Okay. So the proposed list of office bearers took a considerable amount of time. I went through the work done by all the members since the inception of the organization, since the day they joined in. So based on that, I did enact a few changes. I would like to illustrate this with the example of Syed Ansar. So he was originally our human resources in charge. He joined as the HR in charge, and now I have proposed him as a director of IT and web applications, two things which are not at all related. So, like, I just observed that he had a knack for these cyber stuffs, something which I'm not very comfortable with, and many of us aren't. So, he's a professional web designer, and he designed our website, our official website, on a voluntary basis. This is when I realized, okay, he's the perfect person for being a director of IT affairs. And let's not put him in another portfolio and constrict his area of work and what you say, like lower his productivity. So that's why I proposed him as a director of IT affairs, and he took up the offer. Similarly, I would like to talk about Devasmita Mandal. So she has been one of the oldest members of the organization. She's there right from the beginning, and she has been all the while, be it the drafting of the charter, being the chief election commissioner, or maybe attending the meetings with in regards to collaborations and so on. So she has the experience in all the fields of work, and based on that, she has a good rapport with all the members of the organization. She has a personal connection with them. So that's what makes her qualified enough to become the director for general affairs. A person who can manage all the events on a macro basis, all the operations of the organization on a macro basis. That's how I selected my proposed board of directors and other office bearers. So that's all for now. I believe we have exceeded the time limit by a substantial measure. So on that note, I would be ending my address. all the remaining questions, I would be trying to address them through a written document. Thank you very much for being a patient audience, and may the best candidate win.